Howdy folks. Today we're going to talk about a very important thing that a lot of people miss when they are training their horses, and that is making your horse stand tied. Okay? Why would you have to make a horse stand tied? Well, because it teaches them patience. It teaches them, respect of being tied to something and not freaking out. It teaches them to wait on you. It teaches them to trust you. So, leaving these horses tied, even for if you start out at 5 minutes, then bump up to 10 minutes, then bump up 15, 20 minutes, leaving them tied is a very, very, very useful and necessary tool, so to speak, in your arsenal when you are training horses. I don't know how many times I've seen a horse where like the farrier will come and they'll try to tie a horse up and they'll try to get the horse to stand, and the horse completely freaks out because, they don't know how to stand tied. They don't know how to wait patiently. Also, if your horse is ever sick, if they ever hurt their leg or they've got to stand still for something and stand tied and they're freaking out and they're pulling against that lead rope and everything, then, it's just a train wreck waiting to happen. Like for instance, a few years ago, True cut her leg very, very badly. We never did find out what she cut it on, but I'll show you. Come here, baby. Move over. Thank you. She's used to when I walk. She is used to when I ask her to move off. Like, she knows not to crowd me up against a wall. That's why she moved so fast. But this leg here was severely cut. There is a scar that wraps from right here all the way around. She had to have 27 stitches, and you can see she even cut it down here and here. Those are scar lines, but shockingly, she didn't scar where she had to have these 27 stitches. And back here is where this is more scarring, to where whenever she was in whatever she was in, and she was trying to pull her leg out, she got really, really scarred. Well, the moral of this story is she had to stand. We had to put a drain in her leg to drain the fluids out, and then I had to clean and wrap her leg every single day. I mean, she had no skin, it was all pulled down. I mean, it was very disgusting. But she had to learn, she had to stand still for a very long time, and she couldn't be chewing at that leg, so we had to leave her tied a lot, even in her stall, and just so that she wouldn't, dig at that leg. And we monitored her very closely, but the moral of the story is if she didn't know how to stand tied patiently, then, that could have been very, very, very ugly. So, and it could have been much worse, and she could have ripped her